shot, it's gon' switch. I know this is God's plan, I won't quit. This is his plan, I won't quit. I was created for this. Yeah, I've been waiting on this. Second guessing is over, I'm getting closer. Every door that was shut, heaven is open. Closed captions on every word spoken. Watching my words cause I'm chosen. And I cannot fail to commit. This is my time and I know it. I gotta show it. Shine brightest in the moonlight. Shine brightest in the nighttime. Been waiting on my time.
Peace, family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, that sage is cooking, boy. Today, I'm going to be doing the weekly astrology for Monday, June 3rd, today, to Sunday, the 9th. Yep. How the hell y'all doing though? I miss y'all. I'll be back. Maybe. I'm having too much fun. Isolation is my happy place, guys. I get to dream and think about things, but the astrology is astrologying. Okay. So, Pluto is definitely doing this trining. That Pluto in Aquarius retrograde trine Jupiter and Gemini is like magic. I mean, yeah, this can be about like literal things happening, in the world when it comes to like long distance travel and all that other stuff. But Pluto's a very internal sign. And Aquarius is about isolation, and kind of being emotionally, checked out in that way. And when I think about these two together, at least how it's been playing out for me, is mental travel. This is astral travel. Like I'm on a wave right now. I'm way far out there on left field, like having the absolute time of my life. Just want to put that out there. But I'm also learning with a group of other like-minded people, which is heaven on earth. And yeah, it's this energy has been very, very peaceful for me. I'd love to hear how it's playing out for other folks. And leave your comments, because this is rather new energy too. Like I was mentioning in my Gemini new moon videos, we're gonna start to have a lot more air transits that we've never had before. And so it's going to be important for people to share their thoughts, how they're experiencing this, because I can only speak from my perspective, and how we learn is by sharing. And so it would be very, very interesting to know, like, what's your sun sign? If you know your big three, put that stuff in the comments and let me know how you're experiencing this Jupiter trine Pluto in Aquarius retrograde. But I am definitely astral traveling, relaxing, trying to get back into some kind of healthy balance, because I'm also a Libra rising. And I got to be honest with you, as great as Venus is being in Gemini, normally, I think I mentioned this too. Because Venus is in the South Node, like I really don't even want to. You know what it took me just to put this stuff back on and use this stuff to. This is how I know I'm kind of coming out of my, you know, my downtime. And Venus is like, get out there and shine like a star. And I'm like, but I'd rather not. You know, it's hard for me to care about Venusian things the way I normally would because I am in some sorts going through some kind of dark night of the soul, this major release of karmic endings and things from the past, even like, you know, past life stuff and things of that nature. It's heavy and it's deep. Like I can feel it, but I cannot describe what that feels like just quite yet. I'm like right in the middle of it and kind of going between this push and pull of being active and present in real time as opposed to reflecting and um you know enjoying this process of elimination and what does that look like for me? What do I really care about? Do I really care about those things? And yeah, so I feel like I can go on and on, although I know you guys didn't care for me to share my life story. But I'd love to hear how this has been for you guys, and where you're kind of at on the spectrum of all of this. There's definitely been a lot of information and ideas, and changes on how I'm thinking and communicating. I've been challenged with that a lot. Like, do I really care about some of the stuff that I've been talking about, or do I want to talk about it in another way? What is that going to look like? Because Jupiter can be promotions. Now, not everybody has a business, right? And so not everybody's going to relate to the promotion piece, but another way to just simply think about this is morally, ethically, and philosophically is the language that you've been telling yourself all these years the same? Do you feel the same? Are they still aligned with whatever is being asked of you to change in that way? Um, I'm feeling that very heavy. Um, and so there's just it's a change, it's a transformation, um, on a personal level. But even with Pluto being in Aquarius, I think collectively we're all kind of asking ourselves, do I still believe in the things that I've been kind of following and or abiding by? I was watching this video on Lada's channel, and I think he was talking about, I should have brought my phone over here so I could look at the video so you guys can go check it out. But he was like breaking down the archetypes of the archangels through in their stories through astrology and what sign or planet it matches up with, which I thought was extremely profound and right exactly where I needed to be. But as I was thinking about that, some of the themes and things that he was referring to was some of the things I'm thinking are going to be bigger topics to discuss and discuss and consider with Pluto retrograde and Aquarius trine Jupiter and Gemini. Is like there's two sides of this I see. On the lower expression, well, I don't know if I want to call it the lower expression, but let's just say there's two sides. Before I was thinking, when I first started looking at this energy, and again, I know I've done videos, I've talked about this. I couldn't tell you where to find them or even what to look for, but honestly, if you look at any video I did back in 2020, I've been talking about this energy. But I think initially when I was looking at this, I was thinking it was going to be like that hippies vibe, like sex, peace, and drugs and all that stuff. And maybe there's some of that there, right? I don't know. Again, I can only, you guys have to tell me what you're feeling with this, but the more I've grown and evolved since speaking about this, honestly, I'm thinking this is more Rastafari, especially with Aries being in the North Node. This is extremely selfish energy and not really wanting to give off of yourself or share your personal self with others. This could be the abstinence of sex, or sex becoming more intellectual than physical, um and really just wanting to like do you, but not in a negative sense or even like, you know, that you're better than somebody or on some kind of spiritual path or something like that, but just like Jupiter is the lone wolf in some ways. Aries is like all about the self, and then you have Chiron that wants to deep, and then Pluto's like, but go deeper. And so there's this deep trance even that I feel like people are in, where it's like finding your soul's deepest peace and quiet and reflecting on what that looks like for you, imagining Gemini, using your imagination and ideas of, you know, what does that mean for you, and kind of going on this cosmic lone wolf tour of healing on a really, really deep level. I was reading a post that somebody posted. I don't know if it was on IG or YouTube, that Lenny Kravitz, who happens to be a Gemini, by the way, who just happens to come out with this information. Now, I got to be careful with saying stuff like that, because this stuff could have come out years ago. You got to be careful for fake news and all that stuff. But I just find it interesting that this energy is coming up now, um, as this transit is happening. And he's talking about having been celibate for 9 years, right? And people are like thinking that he's weird for doing that. I think it was Ti. Oh my God, don't quote me on that. I don't know who the heck it was. I think it was Ti, who happens to be a Libra, by the way. And he was like, "That's fucking weird that you wanna not have sex. Like, I don't get that." And that he's the wrong person to be following if that's where he's at, and whatever. Um, I just found it interesting that these topics are coming up. Which side are you on? This could obviously be extremely sexual, but not first without falling in love with somebody's mind with Gemini. And talking to people and connecting with others. This energy is great for singles. Um, it can definitely be fun for couples if you're found yourself in a rut and things have gotten boring. It definitely will spice up your life, where you could add games and naked twister and these types of things here. But just in general, overall, it's like, how can we be more playful, witty, flirty, and trying new things in a very unconventional kind of way. This could definitely be swingers energy without a doubt. I actually hate the fact that, air signs are more relative to this type of energy, but and there are some people out there who are, but this is definitely like switch your partner's type of energy. I feel like I mentioned this in another video, where I think there's a show, right? Isn't there a show called something about switching partners or married partners or some shit like that? I don't know who the fuck thought that shit up, but it's out there. And what the hell is the purpose behind that? But it's a thing, and I can see this energy being relative of that, or even like sister wives, and things like that. This energy is more relative to, or it's seen as energy that's more connected to people who don't want to be in relationships like that, at least not in the traditional sense. Um, where marriage is involved, or that, we're going to have kids in the picket fence. And no, I want to live in a reservation out on some rock somewhere with a bunch of trees where I can, um, challenge myself on survival skills and learn from the earth and connect with the earth. And this is why I say Rasta. I get Rasta energy big time with this. And I think that's also a very ignorant statement to make, because it's not to say that these people don't have families or don't want families. So I have to be careful with making that assumption or stuff like that. But uh, for general sake, this is the type of energy that's connected to this transit specifically. And so we can hear about the rates of birth and people having babies decline. They can also rise with Gemini and Jupiter, because Jupiter is going to expand Gemini themes, and a trine to Pluto is like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have six of them bitches. And then or, or you can say, I want that picket fence, the white house, the dog, and all that, and be like, but we're only having one kid. Get pregnant and have three at once. This could be that kind of energy. So, this stuff like that can happen. Um, yeah. But also, this could be things about having some kind of difficulties with power struggles, um, or even with your own personal power. Um, mm, I mean, essentially, I think the point I'm trying to make is, our lives and our outlook on life. I think it's going to change drastically. Um, And I'm actually really kind of excited to see what that's going to be like. So, anyways, I went on a whole tangent with that. You can skip to the Monday video for the people who are like, bitch, I don't really care. Sorry for the tangent. So Monday, the moon will be in Taurus, square Pluto in Aquarius, retrograde. And so this energy here coming back up from Taurus season in the Uranus conjunction. And because it's a square, this is really about like a challenge to change, the status quo. Taurus does not like change. Aquarius is a fixed sign. And we can argue that it doesn't like change. Um, and so that fixed energy with the square here can be causing that kind of back and forth with emotions around changing. And what does that look like? Um, this could be things that you don't see coming up out of nowhere. Um, or unexpected things happening in your life. My son actually just told me his friends showed up to his basketball game, and I just looked at him and smiled. Now, of course, he has no idea why I'm smiling, but I know the astrologer. And I'm like, that's such a sweet gesture from that energy. Because Pluto and Aquarius can be your friends, your groups, and the people that you surround yourself with, especially with the moon. These could be friends that are considered family. Um, and that was nice to hear. right? And then Mercury enters Gemini today. Social media can be on fire. Certainly, I want to post. Like I got a lot of shit to talk about. I just don't want to. Right. And so that could be that fixed energy again where you're like, do I really want to be social? Is it that important? Do I care to talk about it? And you might choose to keep this stuff to yourself with Pluto and Aquarius. It's very personal and introspective. These could be things that are personal to you that you might not be ready to share yet. And Taurus is like not good with asking for help in any area where Taurus shows up. And so you might not be ready to express your emotions in that way. You might want to because of the energy of Gemini being so heavily highlighted right now. I think what are we up to? Jupiter, the Sun, um, Gemini, no, Mercury, Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury. I feel like there's something else in, oh, Venus is now in Gemini. That's 4 planets. So it could be dominating this energy, although I still think Pluto's the strongest here. But essentially, that Gemini energy is being felt, and there could be some push and pull between wanting to do the Gemini things against this Taurus square. You know, I want to share, I want to express, but do I really? Your social life could be a little bit more active. Um, and then Venus and the Sun will sextile the North Node. I actually really like this transit. Um, so the Moon, Venus, and the Sun sextile the North Node. So whatever's coming up for you in your Gemini area of life, sextile the North Node. Remember, sextiles are the energy of having all the ingredients you need to make a cake. But if all you do is sit those ingredients up there, they are not going to put themselves together. They are not going to manifest for you. You have to work for this. Work needs to be done here. You have to put the ingredients together. And so there's probably a bunch of us out here right now that are sitting on $1 million ideas. Not that it's about money, but let's change $1 million ideas to very necessary ideas to push the narrative forward. We're talking about North Node here. North Node is our collective destiny that we're just sitting on right now. Like, yeah, well, when I get ready, okay, I'll share when I get ready, you know. And depending on what house this is in, it'll add more um ideas to what or where this could be happening for you. So this could be healing or taking initiative to work hard and get things done, or both simultaneously. And then Mercury and Jupiter will trine Pluto. Yeah, this is really good for deep research, addressing any fears and things that you want to change. So I think I had mentioned this in another video too, is that I felt like the outer planets are really dominating this Gemini season. And so it won't be typical where people are as chatty as I think we might expect normally. I think the outer planets really have us doing some inner work around a lot of these topics. And so this is a great time to plan. Now, there are going to be some people out there who are ready to go. And those will be the people that we'll see prominently out there doing their thing. But there might be some people who are like working on it. So again, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, where you're just wrapping up a class or you just wrapped up a class, right? We're in graduation season, right? And so this is about taking time to reflect, retreat, take a fucking break, a mental break, right? maybe even doing some traveling, spending time with family, loved ones, right? From being in school and heavily, committed to that, that part of your life. And kind of getting reacclimated to your environment home. And now what's that going to be like that you have this extra time where you're not in class anymore, or things like that. It could be something that is wrapping up, that you're just, this is like downtime now, or planning time, or time to take all those ideas and do some free writing, and like, where do you want to put all the pieces? This could be like a huge puzzle piece where you're like, okay, I got this, I got this, I got that, I got that. What do I want to do with all this stuff? And starting to kind of maneuver. Gemini being ruled by Mercury. Mercury is about breaking things apart to look at it from Jupiter bigger picture. And Pluto is like, okay, let's assess what we got here. What do we want to do with all of this? Where is all this going? Do we need everything here? Are there some things that we can take out? Where do we kind of want to put things? So this could be great for like doing vision boards and planning, mapping, whatever it is you're working on, this is great for that. Even getting a coach to help you with this, whatever projects or things you got going on. Again, if you're somebody who's, or this could even be putting together a marketing plan. And again, if you're somebody who doesn't have a business, you don't have any goals, and you're just like an everyday person that is just doing your thing, you can find yourself having a lot more conversations with family and siblings, even getting some kind of counseling, dealing with drama, or putting an end to some drama. This could be bills, paying off bills, challenging yourself to put a budget together so that you can have more fun without worrying about overspending or not having enough. Maybe even having to ask for something with that moon in Taurus is like borrowing money, borrowing time. So this could even be like time management, even though that's more a Saturn thing, but there's something about structure here with Mercury breaking things up into pieces where it's like, I want to do so many things, but I feel like I don't have the time. Or again, you're being pulled inward because things aren't quite working out, or people aren't on your time, or there's finances behind this with Pluto and Aquarius. Maybe you have friends who don't have money, or something like that is kind of tripping up the things that you might be ready to do. And so there could be a lot of talking about that, planning that, and back and forth. It could be a little drama there, I'm not gonna lie. With the square energy, it's like, why you ain't never got no money? You know those friends I'm talking about. Don't look at me like that. Like, you ain't never ready to do nothing when I say I want to go and do something, you know? So there could be some of that going on. And then Tuesday, the moon's still in Taurus, sextile Saturn. Is patience, persistence, faith, and intuition is helping us navigate through things. Yeah, I think a lot of us, again, we're gonna make the decision to be like, you know what, I already know your story. If you know your friends don't never got none, and I'm gonna go by myself. This is gonna be like a cosmic journey of deep reflection and healing on your own, getting comfortable with being on your own, accepting the reasons for why that is. And again, this isn't about being negative or anything like that. I'm really getting like, I'm tired of waiting for other people to get where I'm at. I just want to be where I want to be. Taking the reins of that is allowing us to even have more vision and connect to our deeper inner desires and what it is we want out of life in some way. And I think it's important to do so before we even get on this idea of what this new world order, if you will, is going to bring to us and what we want out of it and where we stand and all of that. Um, this could also be not being realistic. Um, and struggling with um how do you say follow through. Saturn and Pisces could start something, fall asleep. um I don't know why fucking Taurus is like, but I was hungry. And then you got the itis. um mm, I don't know why money, as fast as you get money, you spend it. So this is going back to like losing things, forgetting things, forgetting what you was gonna say, your ideas, not being able to hold on to the thoughts that are coming to your mind, especially because this is gonna conjunct Uranus. My God, they're gonna be like lightning speed aha moments, light bulb moments, um, that are just like, oh, I figured it out. And then somebody interrupts you and you're like, wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, this happens to me. I feel like I've talked about this aspect before for some reason. Now I really need to look at my chart. No, because I have Taurus in the eighth house. So I don't know. But anytime I go to my kitchen, now it hasn't happened in a while. I'm not gonna lie. But when this Uranus and Taurus transit last year, I want to say this started coming up a lot. That I will go to my kitchen with an idea in my mind. And by the time I got to the kitchen, I completely forgot what the fuck that was. I was like, what the fuck did I come in here for? And I couldn't remember. So this could be like lightning speed ideas, aha moments, brilliant innovation, out of the box thinking. But if you don't write it down, if you don't use it, you lose it type of energy. Um, there could be some kind of shocking news around banks, floods, and storms. Uranus isn't out of planet. And so this could be the way the outside world is affecting you and how you operate or move, or decisions that you make. Um, this could be some shocking news about an elder, a parent. Yeah, this could be like work related or money related. Again, something about budgeting is big here, or saving for a rainy day. You can receive positive messages from a romantic partner about finances or meet somebody new too that comes up out of the blue. Like you're on your healing journey, you're not even paying life any mind, living your whole best life in your head, and out of the blue somebody reaches out to you or approaches you on the street or at the grocery store tours while you're eating in a diner or going out to get some food, like, and somebody approaches you like, hey, so um it's not all bad. And then Wednesday, um the moon will move into Gemini. So this is the dark phase before the new moon. This is positive, optimistic. A lot of people are ready for change, ready to let go of fear or things that don't make You're happy. People might clear their social media or start over or even go to another social media platform. We can see a lot of that going on. I don't know why I was getting um I was watching, I don't even know if I'd be watching half this stuff. I really be scrolling. I get bored, and in my moments of boredom, I will see things. I'm like, the astrology is happening. And there was like a clip of a news person talking about how we raise our, or how we educate our young boys and how it's not conducive to their energy. And then they blame it on ADHD. I'm like, oh, finally, they're realizing that dumb shit is true. And so, again, I've been talking about education a lot. I'm telling you, this topic is going to grow quite tremendously on how we educate our children. And I just posted on my IG page, if you're following me on IG, uh, it was this mom who was yelling at her kids for not washing their ass correctly. You have to go watch that video. I must have watched that video like 6 fucking times. Like, didn't I just say in the Gemini new moon video that parents be doing that? We be half-assing it. We be like, tell tell our children to go do something and haven't taught them how to do it, and then get mad when they don't do it right. Like, you can't do that. And I think that's becoming clear. That's something else that happened to me. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think before I started working, I had all these grand ideas on how to bring the family together and how we can work together, and having meetings and making sure that we're checking in and staying. And I think for a really good long time, I was like, I was on it. I was doing a great job. And I was going into detail and I was explaining shit step by step. But then I started working. And of course, as time went by, those things became lesser and lesser important until they wasn't important until no more. And then the house exploded, you know, and I sat there and I was really mad because I'm like, dude, we had a plan. Like, you guys know what you're supposed to be doing. Like, how did we get here? But it was a wake up call that was like, hey, you're not doing your fucking job as well as you think you are. And you have to talk these things through with your children, and you have to show them how to do it. Even at age of 23, I feel like there's going to be more conversations and discussions about older kids, even adults, who are teaching kids to do things the same way they were taught to do things. And there's going to be a challenge around that idea, that thought process. The moon are your thoughts, it's your home and family environment. And Gemini are your children, siblings, right? This is very family oriented, or even just the people who are in your everyday environment. So this could be at work as well, too, speaking up for yourself at work. There's a lot of coworker gossip going on for sure with this transit. I can only fucking imagine if you got a messy ass workplace. Oh, especially trying Pluto. This everybody. Gemini is like the 7-year-old that sits around and listens to everybody's business and then says, Mom, what's his name said so and so. Tattletaling. In this case, as an adult, it's gossiping, telling everybody's goddamn business. And Pluto are your deepest secrets. So, be careful who you talking to at work, because they don't owe you that privacy. Even if they say they got you, you don't really know them folks. So be careful. We're sharing things that you don't want people to know or don't trust them with. If you don't care, this is great for just mindless chit chatter. Although Pluto and Aquarius is like, I don't give a fuck about none of that surface level shit. But I don't think this would be happening at work. I think this is again will be either internally, where you're having these deeper conversations with yourself and going on this cosmic journey of healing and deep reflection, and or at home or with a counselor or a mentor, whatever you're working on, these things could start to come up quite heavily where you're being drawn to take action and address these things in real time. But essentially, I do think topics of education are going to come up a lot. Um, I think a lot of teachers are going to quit due to students being more interested in social media and this fucking uh, societal norms that we call culture, um, are going to be challenged. I think teachers are going to get sick and tired of it. Again, we're going to address a lot of the issues that came up back in 2020 from the pandemic. A lot of teachers were so fucking happy they didn't have to be with them damn badass kids. And I think a lot of people might let go now for good, or change their thing, or even the way they teach or the way they choose to teach. I talked about this, that I think we're going to move into a system that's more, again, focused, centered on the parent, what the parent wants. How does that connect to the environment at home? Like a teacher should only be like a teacher's aid to the parent, right? We should be teaching our children what we want them to teach, not this agenda that you go to school to learn. I think that's another reason why people are getting tired, or teachers specifically are getting tired of teaching, because they're not able to really teach the way that brings real life um, results in our adulthood. And we are seeing that like big time. And the fact that we ignore it and be like, oh, well, it's okay, they'll learn when they go to college or in their next phase of life. And that is not okay. Um, but there's got to be some kind of change around that. And I know people are going to argue and be like, oh, well, they're changing and they're trying to do better and all this other stuff. And that's good for you if that's the way you feel. This channel might not be for you if you feel that way, because I tend to believe that you cannot operate within the system that is built to teach the way that it does. They didn't come and ask you for your opinion when they changed it. They're probably not going to be asking you for your opinion when they change it this time. That's just the system and how it works. And, you got to come to that conclusion on your own. This isn't about good or bad or right or wrong. It just is what it is. That's their culture. It's their system. They set it up that way for a specific reason. And it works for them. It doesn't work for anybody else. If you want stuff to work for you, you're going to have to do those things on your own. And that's just the bottom line. Or you accept the fact that you have to work within a system until you get them up out of the system, but you have to teach your kids. That makes your job doubly hard. And I think it brings discord in the home when a mother or a parent or a father is trying to raise their child the way they want to. And so I think we're going to see a lot more downfall with that during this time. A lot of topics and talks and conversations about that. And I think it's very necessary. Another thing that I think is going to come up is diversity and inclusion, especially because Jupiter is in Gemini with this new moon. And it's still the same story, in my personal opinion. I work at a Jewish company, and we just had a DEI meeting, and there was a lot of questions asked around, what they can do as a company or organization for Black American people to make them feel inclusive in the process. And I was like, but they're already doing that. It's a Jewish company. They started off as a Jewish company to help Jewish immigrants come here, to get up off their feet and make a way for themselves. And once they did that, a lot of those people came back and did great things for that company to the point where it grew to where it is now. And now their services have expanded to the point where they can help all people and help them do the same in whatever way they can. And I know a lot of people might not like that response, and that's okay. Um, but I think at this juncture, it's time for Black people to stop asking other people for help without doing the if they're not going to take that and build off of that. I'll put it like that. It's time for you to start your own company, expand it, and do what you need to do in that way. Chris. And stop being afraid of doing that, or stop thinking that you can't do that because of the color of your skin. I'm starting to think that that whole narrative has become a block, and it only allows us to think this big so that we're only small businesses. Why can't it be a big corporation? And I think we're the only ones holding ourselves back from that. And this conversation, I think, is going to come up more. And I think it's going to be very interesting and something I absolutely don't want any part of. And so that's going to be a thing for sure during this time. But essentially what we're doing is getting rid of fear, getting to our happy place, posting a lot around these themes. People might want to talk in person as opposed to on the phone. And then the moon conjunct Jupiter and Mercury allows you to express your feelings. There could be some kind of breaking news too. And then Thursday is the actual new moon. And this is a great time to ask questions, be curious, be open to learning. Stay positive through the changes in your goals. Creative expression is going to be flowing. And if you're feeling discouraged, or if you're experiencing delays, practice self-love, self-care, and do something for yourself. You know, whatever you deem as self-love and self-care. Do some free writing, poetry, going to a poetry night, something fun, something that involves games. I think I mentioned solitaire, and really any kind of hand game. Inspire others through sharing your ideas and stay informed. Share your story. And then Friday, the moon will square Neptune. So you might oversleep on Friday, or again, forget something, lose your keys, or just be super groggy all day. And then later in the day, the moon will move into Cancer. So it might not be that typical Friday night weekend partying and stuff like that. Although moon square Neptune on the flip side of that can be drug and drinking. Please don't drink and drive. Yeah, be careful for like car accidents and things like that. And then Saturday, the moon will square the nodes, Chiron and Mars. Damn. Yeah, this is definitely like home, comfy, want to be close to others, nurturing. And just focus on home and family. This could also be reflecting on the past, but there could be some friction with that. Or that we're too emotional or too sensitive. So past issues can come up, but we want to move forward. And that's where the square comes in. That we're kind of like fighting ourselves, like being in that reminiscing mode. But energetically, the nodes again, our north node is like our collective destiny of where we're going. And then you have to heal, and then Mars is the motivation to do that. um and so we're being thrust forward, but this Cancer moon square can feel like, oh, what are you waiting for? Why are you still talking about old shit? You know, well then do something about it. Go tell that person how you feel. um Throw those pictures away. Stuff like that. Stop crying. Um, you know, it's time to grow up. It's time to let something go. And we might really be struggling with that. Um, so we might be more reflective, and want to stay home. And then Venus square Saturn, oh, can be wanting to talk things through, apologizing. But again, we might be in our head and really not like, yeah, I'm not ready to talk to you right now. You piss me off. Go jump in the lake. you know, I wouldn't force anybody to talk right now. If somebody says they need their space, let them. Because this could be cheating, to be honest with you, with Venus and Gemini. And it could be with a friend or somebody or a sibling. I hate to say that, but um, hell, this could even be incest. Sorry, bad news bears. Um, this is the classic. I got drunk. I didn't mean to do it. My dick just slipped in her pussy. you know, and it's your cousin or your auntie or your uncle for that matter, because there's a whole lot of that shit going on. You know, um, with Saturn and Pisces. Sorry. Uh, it could be somebody's really sorry and they want to express that. And if you don't give them that window, this could leave room for cheating on somebody that's very close to you. And then that's a whole other story. Um, this could also be like you had plans to go out and do something and you fucking fall asleep. You don't answer. Now this person thinks that you're playing games and you really fell asleep. You might have got too drunk. You talk about getting lit before the event, like, bitch, I fell asleep. Now there's trust issues. Now you've just created your own problems, you know? Um, I'm trying to think what else this can be. Um, yeah. Or you're choosing work and creativity over relationships, and somebody's getting pissed and fed up with not getting attention. Um, or this could just simply be some creative project that you're working on. This could be a struggle with it because it is a square, but ultimately I feel like this energy could be positive with the square in that way if there's something creative you're working on, because it's going to challenge you to the point where it could be like, again, something unexpected. You find some hidden talent about yourself through a struggle of trying to figure out something creative. Um, this could also be like having a whirlwind conversation with one of your guides, angels, again, whoever you believe in or pray to. Um, they could even be guiding you and leading you in some way, knowingly or unknowingly. Your intuition could be like magnified. So you might already know somebody's cheating if that's a thing. Or that, a relationship is almost over and it's out the door due to your desires and what you really want at this time. And so it'll be one of those things where you just like let it go. Um, and yeah, it could be one of those kind of endings that are like, well, you never called me, you know, I called you 6 times and you never picked up. So I just went on about my business type of stuff. Um, yeah, okay. And then Sunday, the moon will trine Neptune. So again, we're letting go of something. This may require a good cry. And then Mars enters Taurus and Venus will square Saturn. I just talked about that. The moon moves into Leo later in the day and it'll oppose, oh shit, Pluto retrograde and Aquarius. This can be really, really intense, an intense breakup for any one of those themes that I just described from Saturday. You could be finding out something that is just heartbreaking, to be honest with you. Or again, you're finally letting something go and it's heartbreaking. Um, Whatever this is, it could be a person, place, or thing. um, and it's not easy. And with Mars moving into Taurus, it's going to give you that earthly manifestation. Whatever this is, it could be final. This isn't the best time for finances, commitments, and aesthetics. Our desire for pleasure and taking our time will grow. Yeah, so people are just not, especially with Mars moving into Taurus. Taurus is slow. It might be steady. This is what I mean by this is manifesting in the physical. Whatever this is right here for anybody. Because Taurus is earth, it's the physical, it's happening right here, right now. Mars is the motivation for that. And even though it might be hard and there's, pain here, Mars is going to give you the courage to move forward steadily, to committing to whatever this is, right? Um, and it could also just be that we become more stubborn when it comes to movement. Like, I'll do it when I get ready. I would not push this Mars. If somebody's telling you they're not ready for something, I highly advise you to listen to them, because if you piss them off, then you get the horns. That you get the bull, you bring out the bull, and that could be a problem. Uh, yeah. This could also be some kind of power structure threatening our joy, pleasure, children, and relationships. I'm trying to think of ways that can look like, but I mean, there's an instigator. Pluto is a instigator. Uh, this could be bullying, um, some legal stuff, um, or a lack of finances, or the other woman, or the other man. threatening a relationship or threatening to tell something. Yeah. Or are you sacrificing your joy by inaction? That could be counterintuitive. Um, hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, this could be somebody bringing some kind of drama to you that's really going to piss you off or irritate you. I mean, I feel like the need for comfort, fun, and peace is more important here with Mars and Taurus. And again, if you piss this person off or you try to force them to do something that they're just not ready to do, you're gonna get the bull. This could be a problem square opposite Pluto, especially with the moon, the Leo moon opposite Pluto. Mm. I mean, I'm sure I'll have more time to unlock that more, whatever that can be, but on the world stage, we can see people in power stepping down because of some financial crimes being exposed, or that there's an agenda that they're getting ready to put out that they absolutely disagree with. Could you imagine that shit? That people actually have, there's actually people in politics that have that kind of like, nope, you're going too far. This is not what I signed up for. I'm stepping down. Imagine that. I think we can see a lot of that. Um, I really don't see work here, but I'd be real careful. You might have a boss that intentionally antagonizes you, that you're about to get real clear on that, even if you didn't know or you had some inkling, and it might uh, turn out dangerous. So be mindful of that. All right. I feel like I've talked long enough as usual. Family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.